Hola, mi gente. Hello. Welcome. Bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy En Día TV. I'm your host and producer, bringing on to the stage hosts, an entrepreneur, and we have Dr. CC, the actionist entrepreneur. Yes. Hello, lovelies. Feliz jueves. Welcome.
Hola.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
You know, I heard the pause. I was like, hola, bellas. But I'm like, I remember in Italiano, it's bellas for ladies and bellissimos for the men.
That's
I love it. I love it. I love it.
right.
Yes.
And even
So
in Spanish, well, there's a question there.
Oh,
similarity.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
So how was
how
your
have
week?
you been, Nadine? How was your week so far?
Oh,
am
it's been
I think
good.
It's
been
lagging,
good.
right?
Is it lagging?
Just a little.
I think
Just a
I'm
little.
Yeah, it is. I don't know
Before
why.
we were talking, everything was okay, but now we're live. It's like the devil is trying us. Everything was okay before we came on, but not today, Satan. Not today.
Rebuke, rebuke, rebuke. Leave it alone.
Look at my face.
Yeah, everything is
I don't
good.
know what's going on. My Wi-Fi's been working the whole week. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad to know y'all are
I
doing
think-
good. I'm trying to catch up because on my end, it's like laggy for some reason. Like I see Nadine's face frozen and CC's moving. I don't know what's happening right now. Technology,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if it's the stream whenever you go live, like there's something with the stream when that happens, because everything was fine before we, while we're talking, but once it went live, I think that's when everything kind of like went to the left. But I think it's fine now, right? It's not lagging anymore.
Yeah, it looks like it's settled.
Okay. Cool. Beans.
You look beautiful, Nadine. I'm loving the blue. Looks
Oh,
nice.
thank you. I love, I like blue.
Yeah, it looks very nice on you. I love that color on you.
Thank you, my ladies. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not matching like you guys today. You wearing the shirt. I had my shirt, but I have some other engagements, so I'm not wearing the shirt right now.
Completely understandable. It's all good. It is all good. Well, as we know, Valentine's is just around the corner, right? So, any plans for the big Valentine's coming around the corner?
What's Valentine's again?
Saturday.
I didn't say when. I said,
Right?
what is it?
Oh, what? Yes, what is it? Yes. You know what? It was something that's so funny. I'm actually going to be, because my husband's on travel, so me and the kids are going to go up and visit the hubby in Augusta, Georgia. But my son came home. He's only 9, y'all, and he was like, "Mommy, I have a Valentine." And I'm like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "I'm your Valentine. That's it. That's all." And I'm like, "Well, what does that even mean?" He's like, "I don't know," because I was like, "You got a Valentine? What does it mean?" "I don't know," And I'm just like, it's too funny. But yeah,
You have a Valentine,
we
but
had
he
to
doesn't
go
know what
get
it
candy
means.
and treats and all that kind of stuff for these kids and everything, and so they'll be good and sugared up, right? So,
Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I'm starting early. I'm already having my dark chocolate, okay?
yes, well, that's at least dark chocolate is a better chocolate than the milk chocolate, so that's good. That's good. Good on you. All right, bravo. Good guy. Good job.
They said it's good for migraines. Is that true? Because every time I have a headache, and girl,
My favorite is
very often it does not help my headaches.
I don't know if it's good for headaches or not. What's your
I don't
favorite?
know. I
Yes,
thought
you were
it made
saying
it worse. I thought it made it worse.
No, I thought they said dark. You're supposed to have a dark chocolate when you have a migraine. Do some research, because I know Yessie likes to research. So yeah, I think so.
Well, if I'm saying the research that I've done, the research that I've done in correlation to chocolate, there's always suggested to do moderation simply because it's high on caffeine, and some of the bodies can overexert depending on the caffeine levels if you're already a coffee drinker, in addition to eating the chocolate on top of it. So I think it just really depends on the person and the body. Because trust me, I'm one of those.
Maybe I got it mixed up. Is it for cramps or is it for headache?
I think it's just the taste good.
Mm.
It's delicious.
So don't tell us anything, right? Just eat more chocolate.
I really don't know what it is. It says, is dark chocolate good for migraine? It says chocolate can also help some people alleviate migraine headaches. It contains magnesium and small amounts of caffeine, which may help minimize blood vessels and eases headaches.
Okay,
Well, good to
yeah,
know.
just learned something. Didn't know that.
That's
Very
what I
good.
thought. That's why I bought it.
Well, hey.
Yeah, that's what, right. It says dark chocolate has slightly more caffeine than milk chocolate. So yeah, that's why I thought that, you know, I've heard it somewhere before. That's why I bought the dark chocolate, because, you know, these headaches are never going away. God forbid. I hope they do. But
Now that's a good kind of medicine versus taking like an aspirin or Tylenol. You just take some chocolate. I can live with that.
right. I had no idea that it contains magnesium at all. This is news to me. And, you know, I've read it somewhere before that it helps with headaches, but I didn't went in depth to see the ingredients as far as what helps with the headache. So, yeah, because magnesium, I do have magnesium.
Is it helping? Is your headache getting off?
Well, I don't have a headache now, but, you know, I just decided to have a piece. I had it like 2 days ago. I had a headache like a few days ago. Yeah. And it was only right here on the right side of my head.
Oh, gotcha.
No fun.
Right. Well, I mean, hey, so with Valentine's, you know, whether you're in a marriage, a relationship, or solo, I mean, there's different ways to celebrate, even like celebrating yourself, right? Like for me, even though I have my honey and my son, I love eating chocolate covered strawberries. That's, you know, go to. But even that is more about like even preparing yourself. Set up some time. If you're one of those individuals who really haven't had an opportunity to have like some you time where you're going by yourself out, just catch a break and smell the flowers, so to speak. When was the last time you got yourself flowers? Don't expect somebody to get you flowers. Get yourself some flowers.
That is
right?
true. You get your own flowers. I mean, I used to do that. But here's the thing. Yessie is frozen on my end. Like, I'm just looking at her beautiful face. But
she's frozen on my end too.
Okay, there she is.
Now
okay, yeah, you were frozen for a minute.
I don't know what's happening. But I'm listening to you, Nadine. You were saying about the flowers.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for somebody to give you flowers. You can get your own flowers. Sure.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. You know, yeah, that's good.
Listen, did you know I've done it twice and it worked? So I've gotten flowers or bought flowers before, and when it died, like the stem, that's, you know, when the flowers, they're like dead and the rose, the petals are like falling, it's dried up. I planted some in my backyard, the dead roses from the vase, and they're really growing, literally growing.
Really?
That's beautiful. That just
like
shows
the
you.
petals?
Yeah, not the petals, but you know, the stem that was in the
stem.
water. Yeah, I planted it.
Oh,
and
wow.
it grew. I will send you pictures. I will send you pictures. I think I did that like 2 years ago, and it really grew. It really did.
That's awesome.
I was shocked, and it grew beautifully too. Because, you know, I have a bunch of red roses in my.
Is it like a really big rose bush or a small one?
They're always beautiful. Yeah, but it grew into a nice little I wouldn't say like a bouquet. It's really pretty, and it was like purple, lavender. You know, I love those colors.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really beautifully. Yeah, I'll send you guys pictures when I find them.
I love that. Yeah. So it just shows you the power of life, even as you know, going down to the level of a stem of a rose that you planted, and it regenerated life. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yep. There you have it. There you have it. So don't throw away those Valentine flowers when they die. Go in your backyard, dig a hole, and bury them suckers. They will grow.
Absolutely. I love that. Yes.
That's a good return on investment. Think about it, because then you get to see those roses every day. Well, you know, like in the spring and summer, right? But it's a good investment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you
what about getting pampered?
What about the what?
getting pampered, setting yourself a massage date for yourself to get
Oh
massaged.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
I've
my
done that
life.
before.
I love
Yeah.
the spa. I can live in the spa, go to all the spas. I love spa days. So it's really awesome. You know, I really wish that we would combine Western with Eastern, and you can kind of see it in little pockets, right, in the US. But when you live overseas, like the spas are a little bit different. They're really cool. And then, like, you know, I have like pros and cons for both, areas of the world and stuff. But I love everything spa. The cheapest spa I've ever went to was when I was in Cambodia. And I went to the spa every single day because the maximum cost for like, anything that you could possibly think of on the menu of like spa services was like 12 American dollars. Dirt cheap. So I could totally afford that, right?
Wait, was that in
Yes,
Thailand?
it was in Cambodia when I was in Cambodia.
Oh, in
Yeah.
Cambodia.
I went
In
every day. The
Thailand.
people knew me. They'd be like, welcome, welcome. Because, you would tip them good because, I mean, it's $12 you're paying. So I could tip them like a lot, right? And they loved it. And I was bringing all my friends and it was just a glorious time. But here in the US, like you can't really do that so much, right? Because it's not going to cost you $12.
In Thailand,
triple
though,
digits.
right. In Thailand, though, you could get some spa for really, 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 really cheap. Yes.
$12 cheap.
I don't remember. It's been so long, but I'm sure it was cheap. I mean, even the hotels in Thailand are cheap. Like seriously, even the hotels in Thailand are really, really cheap. So yeah, absolutely. I believe maybe you can if you try to talk down the price, maybe like $20 now. I'd say I don't know, but if I've been watching some TikTok videos with some people moving to Thailand, Americans that moved to Thailand, and they post their videos on TikTok, and they went to the supermarket and showed the different prices. So if you go to TikTok when you get a chance and look at people living in Japan, China, or Thailand, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as like the living and the cost of living and the expenses,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
one guy was showing he lived like in a penthouse or something, 3-bedroom for like $900 or something. I'm like, wow.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah, that's impressive. Because here it'll be what, like 10 grand to live in something like that?
And check the messenger. I send the flowers. You'll see what it looks like.
Okay, we will. I'll check it during the break. Also, what do y'all think about that halftime? A lot of people are making a big hoopla about this whole halftime show that we just watched this past Sunday. I know not everybody watched it, right? But it's interesting because a group of individuals decided to make their own halftime. Was it Turning Point USA? Called it Tipusa or Tipuse, something like that. And the headliner has a song called Cool Daddy Cool that talks about child pedophilia. So, and then people are making a big hoopla about Bad Bunny with the NFL. So, what are your thoughts about that? Because I'm just like, really, like, people need to get a life. They need to do something better with themselves than just criticize all day.
Well, honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't even know who Bad Bunny was when I saw the halftime because I watched it, and I reposted it on my page. But of course, no hablo español. So I posted it. I said, you know what? My thought process was maybe because of all the things that's been going on with ICE, I said maybe they decided to just have like a Spanish artist come on and sing in their own language and stuff like that to, just bring back the what do you call it? The camaraderie or, just the environment. But I didn't think anything of it. I just posted the video, and, you have a lot of different comments under my post. I'm like, well, why didn't you like it? Was it because you didn't understand it, or was it because it was in Spanish? I didn't know, because I really don't know anything about the guy. I never researched him. I've heard about Bad Bunny, but and I didn't even know all this time. I thought the wedding they had was fake or part of the party or the halftime, but it's an actual real wedding. I saw a video about that. So yeah, that's my take on it. I really don't understand what he was saying, but I just saw the cultural difference with him walking in the markets and different things along the way. So I'm thinking that's a part of the culture. But as far as what he was saying or what he was singing about, I didn't really know because I did not understand the language. That's why,
I didn't
yes,
see
you
it
have
either.
Spanish.
Yeah, I didn't even watch the football game because I was like, the Patriots are in the Super Bowl again. Like it's like they're always in the NFL. I was like, who won? I didn't even like follow up on any of the stuff. I was just like, okay. And then so I didn't watch it. I didn't see it. I heard everybody like, talking about it or whatnot. I heard it was a good halftime show. I heard about the alternative halftime show, all of that stuff. Bad Bunny, from the research that I've done, he is witchcraft involved with him, even from his style of dress to the things that he do, and to some questionable things, that he's done and even said, right, in the media and things of that nature. So I don't follow any of that. I'm sure it was a really good show. Like, I didn't see it, so I can't really judge it or anything like that. But as far as like Bad Bunny, and even with like the Turning Point USA, like Yessie was saying, them having Kid Rock, it was great because, we actually looked at the lyrics of that song and what he's saying, and it ain't cool. Like, it's not cool. So, it would be advisable for everyone, for any kind of music that you're listening to, right? Read the lyrics, because just because it has a cool beat and you're like just bumping your head, and I've done that so many times, not knowing any of the lyrics, just like, it's just a cool beat, it's a happy beat, and then you hear the lyrics and you're like, what? It's like totally disgusting, right? And so then of course you turn that off. But yeah, I didn't see it. You saw the halftime show? Yessie?
I did, yes, I did, and I loved it actually, because it was, aside from what has been done in the past, like for Bad Bunny, similar to the conversation we were having yesterday when we met for dinner about people's past, how people change, right, and grow and evolve. That's how I saw him. I saw him as that was his start. That's what he had to make sacrifices in order to break into the industry, because he barely started in 2016 and we're in 2026. So his career is very young compared to others that have been in the industry for a long time. And so within that 10-year time frame, he's had to do things unorthodox to get into the industry. And then understanding that, okay, now in 2026, he is a different person, because the halftime show, how I interpret it based on, and even a lot of the comments that people were watching, it was about love and unity and respect, and also culturally the sacrifices that the people of Puerto Rico had to do with regards to just starting from the bare bottom of cutting the sugar canes, or just a lot of the adversities, especially dealing with America coming and taking over territories and things like that. So it was a lot of deep messages that a lot of people may not understand or get, but I really appreciated him bringing that, and then bringing like Ricky Martin, right? He's a staple icon legend in the Puerto Rican community, or even incorporating Lady Gaga to blend in the mix. It was beautifully done. Even the marriage, right? The whole traditional marriage between man and woman and the household. I loved that. And that was a true, like Nadine was saying, it was a real marriage that took place that day. And so it was just a lot of beautiful messages overall. I honestly wish it would have been longer, because I really enjoyed it that much. But overall, people change, people grow. And I really saw that in this performance.
That's awesome. Yeah, performance wise, possibly real life, just with stuff that we see, I don't see that correlation. But the show was good. The show was good. What were some of the comments that people were saying? Was it like good and bad comments, or like what was that overall?
Oh, if you go on my page and look at the comments, it was just like different comments they were saying, and I'm like, why? I don't know why. Some of them put like the vomit emojis. I'm like, wow.
It's interesting, sis, because they were talking about the language, about him speaking Spanish. And like I was sharing with Nadine right before when we were behind the stage, is America, when America was founded, there was a lot of Native American tribes that didn't speak a lick of English. So the first language technically in America was not English at all. It didn't happen until the European settlers that came from other parts of the country, and included Spain, which Spain speaks Spanish, right? Those languages were then incorporated into what we now consider America, or North America, right? So it's interesting how a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't speak Spanish. Da, da, da. Okay, great. There's different alternatives. Why not put the subtitles on? It's the same way when you watch, like, let's say a Chinese or a Korean movie, and they're doing all the little things. You don't know what the heck they're saying. Just put the subtitles on, translate the music, or, translate the video. Or even when you listen to opera, I don't know if there's a lot of opera lovers. I love opera, but they sing in Italian and French. I don't know what they're saying, but hey, I turn on the translation and I feel the vibe with the music. So there's a lot of solutions. I feel like nowadays a lot of people are so stuck in being negative, because a lot of people have been programmed or brainwashed, be stuck in the negative versus deprogramming themselves to say, hey, let me step outside of this box. Let me look and research and think of possible solutions versus complaining about the halftime show being Spanish.
Yeah, and that was so simple. I mean, people complain about the language for crying out loud. Like, get over it. Like you said, it's so, I watch telenovelas and stuff. I'm watching one now about these domestic workers, trying to fight for their rights because they weren't getting paid fairly and things of that nature. And it's a really great show. And I have all my subtitles, and it helps me like learn the Spanish. It's like, come on, you know what I'm saying? So like that, I mean, if they're complaining about that, like, get a life, seriously.
Listen, I've watched Lorena del Toro for many, many seasons, and I've watched it and read the subtitles. I watched the whole show for season 1.
Yes, you got me on that show. It's so good.
Funny, right? It was good. It was really good.
Look,
have you watched it, Yesy?
I have not watched it.
Lorena del Sur. So Queen of the South. I'm telling you, so they have an English one.
You have to watch it.
That they did. But I'm telling you, that English one ain't got nothing on that Spanish telenovela, honey. When they give you your seasons and your episodes, girl, you get everything. You know what I'm saying? Because like in a lot of the English ones, they give you like 12 episodes and your season is done. You're like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is trash. You know what I'm saying? But telenovela, they will go into like 75, 85 episodes. They want to make sure you got the storyline. And it's so good because with Lorena del Sur, the one that I watched in Spanish versus the one that I watched in English, I prefer the one in Spanish. It's just so much better. Yes. It's so much better. It's so much richer. And you can see like as with on the sets, because you guys are actresses, right? On the sets and with wardrobe and stuff like that, you can tell that they started out with a small budget, right? Just because of how the people were kind of dressed and stuff. But then you also saw like how they were gaining followers and people were watching the show because a lot of people began watching the show. The whole wardrobe began to change. So I know they were making money from people watching the show. I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. So you can see that in different things. And I thought that was like totally cool. But the English one ain't got nothing on the Spanish one, nothing at all. It was like, I love it.
From episode 1, let me tell you, from episode 1, it's action all the way to the very end. So good. You will be glued to the TV. Let me tell you, I remember stuck watching that show until 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I was binge watching it. Okay. And I was in the Navy. I had to go to work. So I'll come home and I told Stacey, I said, I'm going to watch Lorena del Toro.
I love that. Yes. Well, thank you for embracing the Latino and Hispanic culture. That is beautiful. I love to hear that. And the fact that you all enjoy it, right? You all are part of that positive crew of people that say, hey, I love it, and I'm going to find a solution. I'm going to put on some subtitles, and in the meantime, I'm going to learn Spanish, read in English, and correlate the words, right? Understand? And that's a beautiful thing, and I wish more people thought that way. Like I said, our society, most of our people nowadays are just so brainwashed into being negative. And I get it, right? And not everybody has that emotional intelligence, but because it starts from early childhood and their experiences and their parents, even the whole racism thing, it is a programmed, conditioned situation that you learn from home. Because I've seen my son, or I've seen other kids that where their parents, I know they're not racist, and they love each other. They play just fine. It doesn't matter if you're pink, purple, blue, yellow, green. They play together. But you can tell those individuals are considered quote unquote racist is because they grew up in that household where they were brainwashed. But the sad thing about it is understanding that, yes, you were conditioned this way, but uncondition yourself, because now you're an adult now. You know better, right? You know, you see what's happening, and you should put 2 and 2 together, because 2 and 2 is 4. I mean, come on now.
Listen, I've always loved culture. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in New York, because New York is a melting pot, to join in the military. And, you know, if I didn't join the military, like some of the cultures that I've met actually in person, I wouldn't have met, because the military is like a melting pot too. You have people from Jamaica, from the Philippines, from Puerto Rico, from Guam, from all over the place. And, you know, you meet those people, you is what the military is about. You get to meet and you embrace different culture. You go to different countries, you try the different foods, and that's what culture is, and you have to embrace it. You can't be stuck in a bubble where you're like, oh my God. And some people, this is the first time they're leaving their, even people that live in the United States, just leave your state, take a road trip, go to a different state, meet different people, and embrace culture.
That's good because, you know, even within the US, when you go to a different state, sometimes you can experience different cultures, right? Because in some areas of the US, you have like Amish, right? So you get to learn something completely different than how the way that you live. You know what I'm saying? So there's little subcultures within the cultures, and it's really kind of neat. So sometimes, you know, you don't have to travel very far to experience different things. You know, the Northerners that come down to the South, they get like a whole language, you know, barrier in a sense, because they're like, what are they saying? Because it's so Southern. They're like, you know, but then they're experiencing that Southern hospitality. And then you go up north, you know, and then the people are talking fast and they're moving fast. And so then all the Southerners are like, they're like, everything is moving. But so it's really good. And I love that about the US, that you can experience a variety of cultures. And I know, especially in New York, I've never been, but I hear that's really, really, truly a melting pot. So you really kind of get it all, right? And I think that's beautiful. I love that. I'm glad you said that, Nadine.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then there's another thing I needed to bring up. I need to switch in topics. So have you guys seen yes, see, I saw this video, right? It's a new thing now. Like people are going around, these guys in masks, they're going around with like this is my cell phone charger, right? They're going around. I don't know if you guys seen that video. They're going around to people's houses in masks. They know there are cameras there, so they're fully masked with these antennas over their heads in front of the camera, in front of the garage, and in front of the house. Because guess what? They're scanning. You know, you walk in and you know you have your little thing on the wall. As soon as you walk in, you hang your keys up. So they know majority of the homes, you put your key fob up in front of the house. So what they're doing is they have a little device in their pocket. They're going around with these antennas. They're scanning the key fob, get the information from the key fob to start your car that's parked in front of your house, and they're stealing the cars. I was flabbergasted. Like, what? So I don't know how they're coming up with these things. They must have worked at car dealerships to know, or they're electrical engineers or whatever, however they came up with it. But that was the new thing. I don't know, you guys could look up the video, but they're walking around with these antennas. I'm like, when I first watched the video, I was like, what are they doing? So that's exactly what the news said. And I mean, a lot of things in the news, people are learning to do these things. I mean, the news shouldn't be advertising a lot of these things because it's teaching other people how to do it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I would never know if I did not see this clip. So yeah, they're basically, what they're saying is they have a little device you could buy on Amazon to put your key fob in, or they said you could use, this is from my chocolate, aluminum foil, and put your key fob in it. Just like, you know, what was going around with your credit cards in your purse, and people in the bar or wherever you go, they'll scan your credit card information. If you don't have the device, you could wrap your credit cards into tinfoil so people won't scan that. It's the same thing with your key fob. Send your key fob in your bedroom or all the way to the back of the house, away from your front yard where your car is parked. They can't get in the garage unless they kind of like trick it to open if your car is parked in the garage. But if your car is parked on the outside, don't hang your key fob in the front of your house. Hang it up in the back, or keep it in your purse in the back of the house somewhere, but not in the front of your house. And so people won't be stealing your car. And I don't know what state it was. It looked like it was California, but I wasn't for sure where. But it was interesting to see. It was crazy. I was like, my mouth was wide open, like,
wow. Yeah,
like,
that's
every time I look on the news, I see something new. I'm like, Jesus, please come down and help us, dear Lord, please, because this is ridiculous.
And you know what's sad, sis? Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I had no idea. And luckily, I'm not one of those that hangs my key. Like, I literally take my key somewhere completely different in the house and I hide it in a really good spot. So I'm not one of those. But I will say this. It's interesting. These individuals are so caught up with trying to steal from the hard work and earnings of other people, when if they really have that knowledge, they can just come together and create their own business to do either car restoration or car tech and all that. Just creating your own business to where you're going to get your own money and not steal from people who work hard each and every day. That's really sad.
Because they're smart. If they come up with these ideas, they are smart. Why not make it lucrative and do something positive with it instead of robbing people, and they was like, well, we don't know if it's the same person in this video. There's a second video, when clearly the back of the writings on the back of his coat and the rag that was hanging out of his pocket in the first video, you could tell it's the same person. So what do you mean you don't know if it's the same person at the next house? Like, really? Come on, people. It's crazy.
God. It is. Well, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, sis.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to bring on our guest. And Dr. C. Andra, would you kindly, when we do come back, introduce a guest for us? Beautiful. All right, so don't go anywhere. Hoy En Día TV will be right back. Yes.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth. In the job market, transformation has never been closer, because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
At Cab Zenza, we believe beauty is a ritual, not just a routine. Rooted in intention and inspired by nature, our skincare is crafted to nourish more than just the skin. It nourishes the spirit. Every jar is made with purpose. Because when you flourish inside, it shows on the outside. Cab Zenza's isn't skincare, soul care.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening. It's moisturizing. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
Are you looking for the perfect shirt for that special occasion? At Collective Custom Wear, we bring your vision to life. From weddings, family reunions, anniversaries, or casual outing with friends, express yourself with your unique style and leave a memorable mark. Order now. Our custom shirts are designed just for you.
All right, so we have three amazing sponsors. We have Cab Zenza lotion. Yes, body butter lotion. I mean, hey, right now we're in the winter, but every time of the year, your body needs to be hydrated. It's the largest organ in your body. And I mean, I hate to say, you don't want to walk around a little, ashy and cracky skin. Like, come on now, make that investment. And I guarantee that your body is going to say, thank you, I love you. Yes. Also, people who don't know their purpose, all of us were here, created on purpose. You are here today because you have a purpose. And if you don't know that purpose, reach out to Girls with Gigs, Inspire for Purpose. My sis, Dr. CC, is going to get you right. She's going to get you aligned with that purpose. And trust me, you're going to be very happy because you were created here on purpose. And for those who are having a birthday party, a wedding, a quinceañera, a family reunion, whatever you can think of, look, these are shirts that we have here. Collective Custom Wear. Get your custom made shirt for whatever occasion, even funerals, right? In honor of someone you love. Get that keepsake. It's something that you can hold on for a lifetime. So thank you for the sponsors. We have more sponsors coming later on. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. All right. And without further ado, we're going to transition over to our special guest.
Yes, yes. So I have the honor of introducing Tamra. Tamra is a powerhouse in the beauty industry, bringing over 40 years of expertise to her role as CEO and master stylist of Tamra Hair Talk. Her journey in cosmetology has been as diverse as it is impactful, spanning roles as a dedicated stylist, a dynamic platform artist, and an influential instructor. Known for her creative vision and technical precision, Tamra has consistently delivered show-stopping work that has earned her high acclaim in competitive hair circuits. Beyond her professional accolades, Tamra is a resilient breast cancer survivor, yes, whose personal strength informs her professional mission. As mother and a leader to the empowerment of the as mother and a leader, she is deeply committed to the empowerment of the next generation. She is a passionate advocate for vocational education, frequently encouraging women and young girls to pursue cosmetology school if they possess a natural talent and a genuine passion to create. At Tamra Hair Talk, she specializes in healthy hair, precision cuts, and comprehensive education, ensuring that every client and student benefits from her decades of mastery. Whether she is behind a chair or on a stage, Tamra remains dedicated to elevating the standards of hair care while inspiring others to turn their creative gifts into a lifelong career. Without further ado, let's welcome Tamra Hair Talk.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hello, hello,
Welcome.
hello.
Hi.
Welcome,
Here.
bienvenida to Hoy En Día TV. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. You all, I've sat here, I've been listening, channeling in, and it is such an honor to meet you, Yessie and Nadia. I mean, it's just so beautiful to meet you. I've heard so much about you through CC, and thank you so much. It's an honor, really.
Well, my pleasure.
Yes,
Thank you for saying yes to the invitation that Cece extended, and we're thrilled to have you on as well here on Hoy En Día. So, Dr. Cece read an amazing, robust bio, but in a nutshell, who do you say you are?
I'm a God-fearing woman. I am a mother. I'm a daughter and auntie, sister, and I am all that God wants me to be to women as far as an extension of my love and from their beauty to just being there to listen. Anything I can do as a virtuous woman to our community and to the world. I just love what God has put inside of me to love people.
That is beautiful. I love that so much. And so you've been in this industry for over 40 years in your craft and your career. What
Mhm.
first made you fall in love with just doing hair and being a stylist?
Well, actually, what happened is I was doing my own hair, and I want to say to you all, I understand that. Is it just, I know Cece served in the military. Nadia served in the military also.
yes,
Is
I
that
did
right?
24 years in the Navy. Yes.
Okay. And Yessie?
I did not serve in the military, no. So I'm just
Well,
blessed to have two amazing co-hosts that have.
well, I want to say thank you for your service. I
Oh,
want to
thank you,
say
support.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
you are so welcome. So I'm saying that to say that I used to work at the commissary many, many years ago. And
Nice.
so that's why I said that being on base, it was a young lady that saw my hair, and just out of the blue, I'm bagging her groceries, and she asked me if I would do her hair after her complimenting me. And I was like, I don't do hair. And she was like, well, would you do my hair? And after me and her exchanging numbers, I went home. I told my mother that a lady gave me her number and she wants me to do her hair. And my mom said, do it. And I said, do it where? And my mom said, do it here. And I was like, oh my goodness. So what we did everything we had to do to get products. And honestly, from that moment, I was spoken very highly from her. And she was like, you should do this for a living. And I replied, I can't stand on my feet all day. And I ended up reaching out to a college, and here I am. And I fell in love with standing on my feet all day long and meeting so many women because my father served 27 years in the military, United States Marine Corps. And so that's been my foundation. And so you all were talking, and I've heard you speaking about the Super Bowl and, chocolates and just going on and on. And those are the type of conversations I've had with women. But because I did live close to military base, it allowed me to meet so many different nationalities, get acquainted with women from all walks of life. And it's just been so empowering. I just love who we are as a people.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm going to open the floor to Nadine to see if she has any questions. And then if not, then followed by Cece before I ask other questions to you.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I'm not a licensed cosmetologist, Tamara, but let me tell you, I love doing hair. I do my hair, I do my friends' hair. Like, when I was stationed on the ship, I used to do that too. So I mean, I love and I enjoy doing hair. So I definitely understand, because even Stacey also asked me before, like, Nadine, why don't you do hair? I'm like, no, I said I want to deal with people like that. So
Mhm.
but yes. So my question for you is, and welcome to the show. When you were saying, about, anything you could do, the song that popped in my head, anything you can do, I can do better. So
Okay.
so yeah, that's the frame of mind you should say for yourself. You could do it, I could do better. And not that you're putting a self praise on yourself, but because you are that woman, and guess what? You are a breast cancer survivor, so you forgot to say that as well. But after 40 years in cosmetology, what still excites you when you step behind the chair?
Well, one thing about cosmetology, it's always evolving. So that's excitement. And when you know that you pay attention to that, I realize that I'm a part of a community of, I mean, people that's been before me, who are with me now, gone before us, who have set standards. And I feel that now I have such a more of a passion to be the thread to the fabric of cosmetology, um, where I'm excited now, I would say, to help women understand to embrace their natural beauty, because it's been such a rise with cultures where hair is being displayed but being put on the wrong way, not technically right. And so it's causing a lot of harm to women, to their scalp, and to their hair. So my passion is it's ongoing, because that's who cosmetologists are. We're always evolving. It's some things will always be, but when you really look at cosmetology, it's always something new. And if you're really a part of it, you want to be that thread to that fabric. That way it doesn't unwind.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that. And you're right. And I have another question for you. So, what advice would you give to young women that are coming up out of high school or college, that want to get into cosmetology?
I would say really understand if this is what you think you might love, just beauty. I think us as women, little girls, right? We're always in the mirror and always doing our hair. But when it comes down to a career, I would seriously ask yourself, is do I want to serve? Do I want to serve women? Because it's a different place of just beautifying yourself. When you speak of beautifying a woman behind a chair as a career, it's not just the outside of a woman. You have to be a woman that can listen to another woman. You have to be the woman that can be, I guess, authentic, where you have to put yourself to the side. Yes, your talent and your gift is very important, but it really starts with hearing and listening. So you have to ask yourself, do I really want to serve from not just doing someone's hair? It's more to it than that. I am an educator. And one thing about meeting Cece, I love the fact that within her consultation, we talked probably for a whole hour, but I listened to her and she listened to me. And then we got to the hair. The hair part, I know might seem easy, but I would say that to
Oh, I think we lost her. Did I
Oh,
lose
did
her?
her device
Is this on
die
my
or?
end?
No, I don't know. I
No,
think
it's black on my end too.
Okay, it was all good. So we can continue the conversation until she comes back on. So Tamara, if you can hear us, I'm gonna bring you backstage until you get everything situated. But wow,
yeah.
that's so far the conversation is amazing. Nadine, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, right, like I purposely don't go to the hairdresser because not because I know how to do my hair, but because what cringes me, and I was gonna ask her that my last question was what cringes me is that I don't know, like just like when you go to the hospital and you have I think they purposely have to let you wait in the at the hospital or a doctor's appointment going to get your hair done. Why is the wait so long? Oh my God. Like you have an appointment for 9 o'clock in the morning and you're not being seen until like 12 o'clock. And I'm like, why? My appointment was at 9. I'm going somewhere, I have somewhere to be, So yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but yeah.
Oh yeah. And I wonder, like, is it more like a cultural or black thing? Like, like, because I don't know if this is happening in other types of salons, like non-black salons, where you're waiting and you're waiting. And I know, back in my younger year, my 20s, is like, you wait, you suck it up because you want your hair to be done. And they're going to do a really good job once they get to you. But it's like I had to wait. And then it's like, they expect a tip, but it's like I had to wait for like 2 extra hours before you even started. So you're really upset your whole day. So when I would plan to go to the salon, I just plan on being there all day. And it sucked. And I hated it because I'm like, I have things to do. And then if you like go to the stylist and be like, how much longer? They're side-eyeing you and giving you like, and you don't want them to mess up your hair, right? So you want to be nice. So it's just like, it puts you in it gives you such anxiety, maybe some of you women out there have experienced that, but it would just give me such anxiety because you don't want to tick off your stylist, right? Because you knew she could do the hair, but you also wanted them to respect your time, right? And then you didn't. Right. And exactly. I always left the tip, but I was always upset when I left because I was like, one, I gave you a tip and you did not deserve it because you saw me well after my appointment time. Not only that, I had to sit in here. I'm wasting time. My whole day is wasted, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I just really felt like I didn't really advocate for myself, but I felt like I couldn't really advocate for myself. Otherwise, they might be like, well, just go ahead and leave. And he's like, I need my hair done.
That part.
It really sucked for the people. It really sucked for the people who doesn't know how to do their hair. But that cringes me. I'm like, I've been to a hairdresser, several hairdressers, and that's what turned me off from going. I'm like, no, that's why I'm glad I know how to put myself together, even if it takes, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. But I don't like going to the hairdresser it's just because of that reason alone. Like if I didn't have to go get my health check, I would do the same thing for the doctors, because you go there for an appointment for 1 o'clock and we're running behind. You always running behind. Like, I mean, what about showing up early so you could set up your room an hour before? Or is that just a military thing? Like, come on, you guys do not respect people's time.
Right. I feel like they are.
Healthcare.
I was going to say, listening to you and being an adult now, and then being mindful of, like, from a project management perspective, it's more about they're trying to fit too many people in versus saying, okay, if somebody's going to get braids last about 3 hours, right? So then on my calendar, I'll put a block from like 1 to 4, because 3 hours is allocated to braids, which means if Nadine goes into schedule, she's only going to see a 12 o'clock appointment or a 4 o'clock appointment available, because that, you know what I'm saying? So whoever is thinking about this, they're not thinking from a strategy standpoint to say, hey, depending on the style that the client is getting, every client is different, first come, first serve, right? If Nadine just needs a simple blowout is what, 45 minutes to an hour, then block an hour. And then from there, that's it, right? Versus saying, okay, you're going to do braids, knowing braids last 3 hours, but you're going to block it for an hour. The other client is going to be waiting 2 hours because you're still doing braids 2 hours later. I mean, I'm just saying.
And it's like, they're just trying to, and I understand they're trying to make money, but then you lose clientele, because I'm all over about quality versus quantity. So for me, it's like I had to go in your shop and I had to wait like 5 hours of my day is wasted. I'm not coming back to you. I'm just not, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and I've made that mistake in the past where I did go back because I'm like, man, she could really do some hair. But I was like, you know what? You live, you learn, you grow, and then you're just like, my time is too valuable. And now it's like I can't be in anybody's shop like that. The other thing, the thing that cringes me, Nadine, is like for a lot of these stylists out here that say they're natural stylists and they're doing your hair and things of that nature. They don't know what they're doing because, you know, like everybody's trying to educate you on your hair. And then, of course, you know, I'm a researcher, so I'm going to research and say, what's the best way to, you know, maintain hair and do all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And the things that they're telling you, they're doing something completely different. Like you want to comb through my hair wet with a little small tooth comb, you're going to rip my hair out. But you're a natural hairstylist. No, ma'am, you are not. Okay. And then the other thing, and then they're like, oh, you have so much breakage. My hair wasn't breaking by itself. It was breaking because you were ripping it out with the small tooth, you know? And like, sometimes you just be a little afraid to talk, you know, to tell style like, oh, that hurts or, you know, whatever. And they're doing other stuff. The other thing, right, is my pet peeve with stylists is that the whole multitasking, because, you know, people are going to be calling and all of that stuff. I feel like when you're there receiving your experience for your hair, telephones being answered, you need to hire somebody for that, or it needs to go to an answering service, or you need to have on some kind of wireless, you know what I'm saying, device or something, you know what I'm saying, so that way you don't have to stop doing my hair to go take a call to make an appointment. Like, that's just unprofessional to me. So for you stylists out there that are doing that, get it together, do better, because from a business perspective, it's bad business and people are sick of it, and you're going to lose the business. You're going to get the bad review, right? And people aren't going to come back, and then you're going to be wondering why am I not making any money? It's because you're not treating the client with the respect that they are due, because that's hard-earned money. And look, for black hair and white hair, because my friend who's a Caucasian, she gets her hair, you know, straightened and dyed and all that, and she's coming out of there $300-400, sometimes $500. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap by any means, and that's a lot of money. You know,
that is a lot of money.
Go ahead. Yes.
Oh gosh. Our guest is back on, so I'm going to bring her back on so she can finish our conversation.
Hello.
Yeah, Cece, remember when we were in Bonaire and we went to get that massage and that lady was getting up and answering the phone? Do you remember that?
I do.
All right.
So we had an experience.
Tamra. Sissy, were you saying something?
Yeah, I said I do apologize. Did you want me to finish the question, answer to the question? Because I did want to expound on that a little bit more.
Yes, go for it.
So I really, and I've been listening to you all. I love a lot of things that you're saying. If you are out there and you're listening and you want to be a cosmetologist, I love all 13 letters because of the fact you will be studying hair, skin, and nails. We are not a community that sits back and, you know, gossips and just, you know, chewing gum and answering our phones. A lot of us have taken cosmetology very serious. So when you look at the IST on the end of cosmetologist, it is study, okay? And when you think about us being licensed to touch a human being, if you are out there, you would be one of those people. And you're up there with doctors, you're up there with psychologists, you're up there with, you know, psychologists, dermatologists. And where I come in, because I am an educator, I want any listeners that's thinking about this to really understand that it's a wonderful career to get into. But I want you to know that it's hours of studying. It's not something that you're just going to be putting on some lashes and you're just doing some curls or you're doing a braid down, sewing on some weave. It's more to it than that. There's diseases, there's disorders, okay? And that's where people don't understand. You might be able to do hair, but you can't do what I do. You can't do what we do. I am licensed. It's a difference. If I ask you what is dandruff, What is malacesia? If I ask you things you wouldn't know. So I love to hear people say they want to be a cosmetologist, a stylist, but I like them to really respect what they're getting ready to get into. But you will serve because you have to listen. It's a lot of times, yes, you're tired, but you have to put those women before your tiredness. You have to plan your schedules right in order to perform right, in order to give them the best guest experience possible. So I hear you all, like I said, but I want to really say if you are interested, take it serious. And if you want to inbox me, it is Tamra Hair Talk on all social media platforms. I would love to inspire anyone or just listen and help you find a cosmetology school.
That's awesome. I'm glad you was talking about that. When you had a little bit of technical difficulties there, we were talking about some of our pet peeves and things that kind of make us cringe. I think Nadine, you were coming in on something to share about that. Do you want to go ahead and do that?
Mhm.
About the what we were talking about while she was
Time,
off
yeah, the
camera.
time you gotta wait. Yeah, the time.
Yeah, Tamara, I was gonna ask you, is that like a thing they taught in school, or is just like their own thing? When you go into the salon, you have your appointment and they make you wait for 3 hours before your appointed time when people have things to do, and that's the reason why I don't go to hairdressers for that reason alone.
Um, I think, remember at the beginning of the show, you all asked me about why I am the way I am when it comes to cosmetology. And I was saying I love it because it's evolving. So if you think back to seeing women in the salon many years ago, it hasn't always been where it is today. It's evolved to where women like you, listening to the complaints, we've gotten better. All right. So now it's more of the suites have come into play. You have the booths coming into play because a lot of women want to be pampered, and you have to be able to hear the cry of the people. What's the problem? And if you recognize the problem, you have to correct it. So, one of the ways that assembly line has been corrected, that hustle bustle, it's people are they're going into doing their own thing. That way they can be professional and do one client at a time. As Cece, I also heard you say, along with Nadine, that the waiting for you, when I was, waiting, it was like I heard you say that the waiting has been a problem. And it has been a problem, but with anything else, we have to look at the big picture. How do we correct the problem? We correct the problem by having someone like me in education. That way, when I'm teaching from a platform of cosmetology instructor, it's up to me to help the industry. Like I said, don't lose the thread, but become better. Become better at what we do. So I'm not chasing money, because then you don't perform well. That should not be your eyesight. Oh, cosmetologists make $2,000, $3,000 a week. That shouldn't be what you're thinking. You see what I'm saying? It's important to know how much money we make an hour, but don't mix that up with respect and your education, from product knowledge to hair and not hair and scalp. Don't mix it up, because you won't perform well, and we as a people will keep doing what's been doing. But I can honestly say a lot of that has stopped in the industry. Even with barbers were doing it too. And it's not just Black people. It is all people have done it. This has been a universal problem, not a entity of one culture. problem.
That's good to know, because my experience has just been with our culture, because I'm going to those people. I'm glad you said that. And I do
You're
like, so
welcome.
what I've been to yeah, I've been to her shop and everything, and it's really nice. It's a boutique, and I love that. I love going to salons that it's just me. Sometimes you can get a little intimidated, especially like for a woman that might have alopecia or something like that. You don't want to be in a room full of people. And so having these unique boutique experiences, right, it really makes a difference. And in Tamra's shop, you know, she really does cater, right? The music, the you know, it's all set, right? The ambiance and everything, from the refreshments that she offers you to the consultation, to just like she said, we talked for an hour before we even start doing the consultation. And that was really nice, because she was getting to know me as a person. So that did make a really big difference. And like I said, now, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big girl now, so I do advocate for myself. But when you're 20, you're like, oh, I just want them to do my hair, I want to turn out good, because you're trying to get to the club right on on Friday, Saturday night. So you gotta get your hair good. You know, can't be messed up. All right. I did want to ask you, Tamra. I know you're really into natural hair, right? So for women of all cultures, right, of all backgrounds, what would you say? What are some like staple products, right, that every woman or man, you know, just some staple basic products that every person really needs to have to help their hair, you know, be healthy?
Well, outside of a brand, one of the main things is texture. So you have to know the texture of what you're working with in order to understand moisture. Moisture is not going to be everyone's need. So you have to understand that. Does everyone need a deep conditioner? Does everyone need, magnetic rollers? Does everyone need a heat protectant? It might be someone just getting, some flexi rods. They might not need heat protectant. But I've noticed that you have to understand your hair. In your hair, I love you all being diverse up here with different cultures. And so if I'm going to do Yessie's hair, I have to look at her texture. I have to look at what's on her hair now, from the color that I see, and then I have to really understand what is it without the color. So I have to know, what am I working with? So I just can't jump in there. I have to know texture. In order to know texture, then you have to choose products. And that's the problem. People just try to jump in, because if I could paint a picture for you all, imagine fabric. We have cotton, polyester, silk. We have wool, right? We have satin. Well, imagine all those different fabrics. But those different fabrics can actually have a tear in them, maybe a rip, maybe some thread, or, a little bit of the fabric is coming undone, right? You have to know that, how do I clean this fabric? How do I fix that hole right there, that tear? How do I make it not wrinkle? I want the satin to be for the wool. So the wool wants to be satin. The satin want to be polyester. You have to know, as a cosmetologist, texture. And from texture, you have to understand hair structure. And that's what I love when I hear people say, oh, I do my hair. You may do it from the outside, but if I took it and I looked at it, because I am a cosmetologist, it's a whole different ball game. And that's what says that cosmetologist is different from someone just getting out there saying, I want to do hair. So
Gotcha.
product
Thank you for that.
choices are going to be personal. But before you get to the product, you must understand, why do I need the product?
That was good. I love the depiction of that. Fantastic. Yessie?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, this is a
welcome.
great conversation. Honestly, I've come across several women that on my timeline, especially for social media, that are battling with breast cancer, and they've lost their hair. And so for you, being a survivor, as a breast cancer survivor, how did that journey change your perspective on beauty, especially with the potential loss of hair? How did that impact you? What did you do to kind of find a good solution to say, hey, this is not me? And I say that to say, because this is a message that I want those individuals, those women dealing with something similar, to know that their hair doesn't make them, right?
Well, I'm glad you asked, and I hope I answered the question um as best as I can. I honestly, it's very, very personal. Because I am a God-fearing woman, before I had a diagnosis of invasive ductal carcinoma, which is breast cancer, I had a relationship with God, and I still do. I was already teaching what I found out I was getting ready to lose. I get teary because to have life versus hair is very honorable. Hair, if anyone's listening, and whether you're battling cancer and you know that you've been told you're going to lose hair, I would say definitely take a deep breath, cry, let it out, have a support team, and embrace if you get to live. Hair will come and go. All right. And I know the hair is our glory. All right. Because according to the word of God, that's what it tells us. And I know everyone's not a believer. So please excuse me if I've said anything to an audience that don't believe as me. But I want you to know that still it will come back. All right. It might not come all the way back like you want it to, but I would say find someone like myself who can work with you, talk with you, make I don't make wigs, but I can network with another hairstylist that does. And I'm that type of person. I'm very passionate. I feel that life is so precious, but you can beat this C word called cancer. And because it's an umbrella, there's so many cancers. So if you look at the umbrella and it says cancer, but you go down the pole of the umbrella and it's got, all the different names of cancer down that pole, you can beat it. Your faith. And that's what happened with me. My faith is what kept me. And what I teach, I lost. And so when you think of chemo and they tell you things, oh, you're going to lose your hair. And some of you are watching it or just listening to us, and perhaps you've been told that, or perhaps a loved one has been told that. And if you never experienced it, maybe a friend might, I don't know. But whenever you lose hair, you have no idea how it comes out in your fingers, in your hand, to the point to where you can't even see your hand or your fingers. That's how much hair loss comes out. Sometimes what I touch and what I do every day to women, I just think they're so far much more beautiful on the inside. And that's what I would want anyone that can hear my voice. You're more beautiful than your hair. And it can come back. If it don't, you have people that do make wigs. But know that just to live and be with yourself or be with family or any loved ones, that's more precious than any hair.
Thank you. Wow, that I felt that, and I love that message, and just a positive inspiration, that voice of assurance. A lot of women need that, right? Because a lot of them, there's a good amount of women that get beat down because of life, not only having to be a mother if they are mothers,
Mhm.
or a wife if they are wives, but life and nowadays is just tough and challenging. So I really appreciate in you sharing that and know that here at Hoy En Día TV, we are believers of God. You can speak openly about God because hey, we're gonna say praise God all day, but also respecting that every one of us are different, right? All of our different guests are not always going to be believers in God, but this is lifestyle. We want you to be your authentic self because life, that's what it is. The ups and downs, the grays, the purples, the greens, the blues, all the shades of life. That's what Hoy En Día is. It's to positively motivate, inspire, enlighten, educate, and entertain the viewers and listeners all about life and everything that we have, whether people are believers or not. So thank you for sharing that powerful message. I felt it.
Well, I
I
want to
got
say one more thing,
oh yeah,
if
absolutely.
I can. Do not be afraid to get tested. Do not be afraid because the sooner you find out if you feel anything, you can go to the doctor, and whether you decide to get, your tumor, if- you know, I would say your treatments through a doctor or a holistic regimen. The point is, don't be afraid to find out because it's the unknowing is what is not good. It's the unknowing. So don't be afraid.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And definitely not be afraid because those that know that they're covered by the hand of God, they're going to be good. God's got them, right? So we're
That's
good.
right.
Yes. I do have another follow-up question, but before I ask my question, Nadine or Cece, do you all have anything additional to ask our guest?
Yes, I just want to say congratulations on you beating cancer and for you just keeping your faith and encouraging others. And then that inspiring message that you just gave for other women to know that they are just more, they are more than their hair, right? We're so much more than our hair. And our hair is our glory, right? The word of God is true about that. Women, most of us, we love our hair. Sometimes, we can do so many things. You can make it short, make it long, you can do all kinds of stuff. So it's really, really fun. So congratulations on your health. I know that she's very, very healthy, right? We talked about that. And just taking care of your bodies, because when you take care of your bodies, right, you're taking care of your hair, because what you put in, you're so right about that. What you put in is what you're going to be getting out and how it's going to reflect and how it's going to show. My last question is, when you're working with clients, right, one-on-one, what does a day in the life look like for you when you're working with those clients one-on-one? What can someone expect when they come into your shop to work with you?
Mm. Well, you're definitely going to feel relaxed. You're going to feel welcome. You're going to feel cared for. And it's you. You're the person that I want to listen to, and I want to know your why you're here, and what's your future like for your hair. So your guest experience with me will be all about you. And I'm going to look at your scalp. I'm going to look at your hair. And I'm going to ask you things about your lifestyle. And how did you get to this place? Because a lot of women that come and see me, CC, have hair loss. And, they have bad experiences from other hairstylists. So I want to be that person that makes you love your hair again, and that person that shows you professionalism does exist in the cosmetology world today. And you're not just someone looked at because of what's in your bank account. And that's, very vital, is that we deal with the reason you're here. And time, time is of essence, because even though I love everyone that comes, I cannot hold you hostage. We have to do hair, talk, and keep it moving. So you'll be with me no longer than 3 hours. So everything is definitely punctual. If you're getting a silk out which I'm known for my silk outs and hair cutting, hair coloring, but anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, depending on what you're getting. But you can make other appointments because I'm pretty much to the T when it comes to serving women. But my stage name, Tamra Hair Talk, is because we talk and I want to hear what you've gone through and let's get through it. Like I'm gonna tell you all something that recently happened. My client, and because you all are God-fearing women, please keep her in prayer, her family, and the other family. But these are things that happened. She came in to get her hair done, and her son was in a bad car accident, and he was driving, and his friend on the passenger side was killed. And and so it's like, oh my Lord, I guess they ran into another vehicle, but keep them in prayer because these are things you never know what's coming in. She's coming in to get her hair done, but she's had tragedy. So here it is. I'm a praying woman. And that's the first thing. What's going on? So you know what I'm saying? So it's not just hair, but have that platform is vital for me. You see what I'm saying? So but these are things you get. Oh, and and let me say this. If you do drink wine, I do give you a glass of wine if you want. But we have a good time and you have very great results. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Nadine, did you have a follow-up question before I ask mine and we transition to last minute words?
No, I don't have any more questions.
Okay. Awesome. Gotcha. All right. So I think for me, my question is more about a challenge. So you being an entrepreneur and an educator in the industry for over 40 years, what has been your main challenge that you feel you've experienced throughout your career?
Honestly, I don't know if this will surprise you, but it was a little mix up with the bio. It's been over 30 years versus 40, but I
Mhm.
would say that it's been when you're an entrepreneur, I'm born right here, in America, and not being able to get financial help.
Yeah.
That has been very challenging.
Mhm.
And it's not taught in cosmetology school. So I've known you either have to take out personal loans, but to get federal, funding and things like it's very challenging. That has been challenging, but my passion has been more than money could ever buy. The experiences that I've gotten from, I mean, just talking with y'all, it's just so sweet because you got the island, I got, I don't even know where you're from, yes, see, but is it a little Spanish, a little bit?
Well, honestly, my family's from Puerto Rico. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but I would say yes,
Okay.
I'm Puerto Rican. So yes.
Okay. And then we have Cece. So I am so used to the diversity of culture that it's more rewarding than you all could ever know. I have just so much love for us as a people. And that it's honestly, that's a challenge funding, but it's more than money could buy. It's never stopped me.
Absolutely. I love that. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. And also for those who want to book you and find you or follow you, how can they book you? Like let's say me, I'm interested in booking a consultation, coming to see you. Like what do I have to do to come see Miss Tamara Hair Talk?
Okay. Well, I do have a website, www.tamarahairtalk.com. And then I'm on all platforms. So I'm on TikTok. I do have a YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook, and everything is Tamara Hair Talk. Yes. So
Oh,
just
great.
remember it's 2 A's and not 3 A's.
Gotcha. 2A.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Ready?
then, but one thing, I'm very personal. So I would say 98% of my business comes from TikTok. And a lot of women will call me, is this Tamra? I was like, yes, is this Tamra from here, TikTok? And I'm like, yes, this Tamra from TikTok.
Oh, I
You know,
love
it's so cute, but yes. I would love it. Inbox me anytime, or you can go up there and make your own appointments. But I'm very personal, so I'm going to answer my phone. A lot of hairstylists have this thing where it's a lot of rules and regulations. A lot of women aren't answering their phones. It's sort of challenging trying to get appointments with people.
Right.
But I still answer my phone.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Absolutely.
You're welcome.
So now we're going to transition over to the last minute words where you get to remind people where to find you, follow if you have a quote or anything that comes to your mind, inspirational message, pretty much anything. This is your opportunity to say that. And so for you to get a glimpse as to how that can look, I'm going to have Nadine lead us, followed by Cece. Tamara, you'll go third, and I'll go last with the remaining sponsors.
Okay.
All right. So as you guys know, my name is Nadine Barton. As you see on the screen, you can follow me on Instagram at NadiaB_1202. And if you need to read one of my books for inspiration or whatever the case is, you know, they say sometimes you have to use your pain to position your purpose. And that's what I did. You can go to www.nadinebarton.com, NADEANBARTON.com. And also remember that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. So be kind. And I learned to live by that because now I know how to choose my words wisely. I know how to respond to people because, like I usually say, you don't want the Nadine 1.0 like back in the day. So I've grown.
You have, and you've grown ever so beautifully. So, hey, I'm your girl, Sandra, the Actions with Inspire for Purpose, and also Girls with Gigs. You can find me on www.girlswithgigs.com or inspireforpurpose.com. My quote for today comes out of Proverbs 27 and 19. And it says this: as the face is reflected in water, so the heart reflects the real person. As I always love to say, love and light and inspire for purpose.
I am Tamra Hair Talk, and you all are more than welcome to inbox me, follow me on any platform. And I have really enjoyed each and every one of you. Seriously, thank you so much for just giving me this opportunity, but most of all, giving God the opportunity to speak through my story for this moment, to reach anyone out there under the sound of all of our voices. And know that even as we grow as a people, God loves us all, and we are more than our hair.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Wow, we've had another amazing episode of Hoy En Día TV talking about hair and just the reminder that hair doesn't make who you are. So for those women battling breast cancer or anyone battling any type of cancer, just know that your hair doesn't make who you are. You're still an amazing and beautiful, magnificent individual. And that's how God made you, right? And so just really remembering that and resonating with that and reminding yourself, mind over matter, how amazing you are. And I get it. It can get tough. It can be challenging sometimes, but it's one of those things you have to pray. When the enemy tries to attack your mind, just pray about it. And I know Cece shared that with me recently. She reminded me too, when the enemy tries to attack you, pray. And that is a great solution. So just remember that. Stay true to that. Also, for those who want to find me and follow me, just go on Google or Safari, Internet Explorer, whatever your favorite browser is, type in YESSE Rodriguez, and I will pop up. And also, before we go anywhere, I have a couple of remaining sponsors to spotlight, so don't go anywhere. Hoy En Día will be right back.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy En Día TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
All right, Divine Beauty and Accessories and Collective Wear, thank you for being sponsors. And actually, the hair that I'm rocking today is Divine Beauty and Accessories. So go on my website, pick up the hair. Hey, you want to change up your look, right? I mean, come on now. You got to change up your look a little bit, especially for actors. You don't want to always look the same on set. Like it's kind of boring sometimes. You got to bring versatility, bring that character. Change it up. Models and photo shoots, right? You want to be a little sassy, you want to change up your look, right? So there's just so many that even men or women, dealing with some form of anything. Hey, here you go. Divine Beauty and Accessories. We got some wigs for you to make up your look. So check it out. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I always say, the sky is never the limit because the galaxies are endless. And thank you all for tuning into another amazing episode of Hoy En Día TV. Until next time, see ya.
Ciao.